let me ask you something. If you're close to quitting your job and moving abroad, what's the first thing that you should do?
That's what we're going to get into today. A lot of people are on the job and they're kind of like us, how we were a couple of years ago, ready to quit and do something different. And so today we're going to go through a few questions that we asked ourselves to help you determine if quitting your job is something you ought to do. So what do you think is the first thing a person needs to figure out if they're considering quitting their job?
The first thing you ought to know is your numbers. Like, you have to know. If you plan on moving abroad and you're not sure what country you want to go to, then just take 5 or 10 and just do the average of it. But if you already know, it's an easier process. So the numbers are going to be pretty easy. If you run a budget in the U.S., you just run a budget abroad, wherever you're going. It's not that hard.
So some of those things would be like what they think their monthly rent would be in that country.
Right, rent,
what,
groceries,
yeah,
transportation, insurance. The same things that you do in the U.S. or wherever you are is going to be the same things that you do somewhere else.
And just adding on your travel costs to get from the country that you live in to the country that you're going to be living in.
Right.
And then also an emergency buffer, which would typically be like your emergency fund back home.
6 months, right?
That would become your emergency buffer. So it's not just about visiting the country, which we did visit the country that we decided to move to.
Right.
It's also about, okay, what is it going to cost me to live here? Because when you're going on a trip to a place, the cost is going to be different than if you're actually going to live at that place.
And this is the part we're slacking on, and we realized when we got here, the cost of living for us is actually much higher than what we thought it would be.
Yeah.
So don't be like us.
Yeah.
Do your due diligence.
And we did due diligence. We talked to Kenyans. We consulted with people who were on YouTube and when I say consult, I mean we watched a lot of videos of people who were already living in Kenya. But when we got here, we realized that there is so many different types of lifestyle that everybody's numbers might not fit. And that's okay. Right.
And I think people like us and other people like that are over here now are given different numbers. So now you have more information to work with. So it makes it a little bit easier than when we got here.
Yeah, because more people are actually moving to different countries, and other countries are becoming more popular. Like you had some that were really popular, then others are now becoming more popular.
Like Kenya, where we are.
Absolutely. All right, so let's say someone has their numbers, but their spouse is not on board. What's next for them?
Well, truth being told, this probably should be done first. As soon as you get it in your mind that you want to live abroad, you probably should start selling that dream to your spouse if they're not on board already. Because I think that's one thing that happened to us. You got the desire to come here first, but I wasn't really sold on it. So when I got sold, it was about 5 years later. So don't do like we did. You can actually start working on that thing as soon as you get the bug that you're really serious about. Then start selling the dream. But in order to sell the dream, you have to know what you're talking about too.
It's true. So if you're the one who has the dream and the desire to live abroad or travel abroad full time, you want to get everything organized, all the information that you can. I know for my husband, he's a numbers person. I'm more of a visionary. I'm like, we can do it. If we can live in the U.S. and make it, we can live overseas and make it. But he's more the logistical side, so he wants the actual numbers. It's about figuring out like what speaks to your spouse and what they actually understand, because I felt like I gave him a lot of information, but not the information he needed to be convinced.
Right.
So I guess prayer also played a part in that. I prayed God a lot because I didn't know exactly what he needed to hear, but God knew what he needed to hear. Right. And God spoke to him in conjunction with me, and also brought other people into his life that helped him to see the vision that I was seeing.
Like we said, divine timing.
Yeah, divine timing. So don't get discouraged. And if someone is trying to, I guess, talk to their spouse about moving abroad, what would be the biggest tip you would say from the perspective of someone had to be getting convinced?
Well, like you said, for someone like me, I need to know numbers. Like, I can see the vision once I know the numbers. Like, my mind works with numbers. Like, just, you're different. You're creative, so your mind will see something and start forming from there. Me, I need to see binary, whatever you want to call all these numbers, 0, 1s, and all that. I need to see numbers.
I think for me, I see the end. But you take care of all the details of the journey for us.
Right. Well, both of us can see the end and don't see the numbers. Then I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we both out here.
Yeah.
So on a wing and a prayer.
Right. So use your spouse's strength. Right.
Yeah. Combine your different strengths,
With
right?
you, yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about purpose, because we moved to Kenya because of purpose. We knew pastors here, and we wanted to come and partner with them on a more full-time basis versus just coming, every other year or every, 2 to 4 years. So for us, it was purpose. So why does someone need to know their purpose before they actually quit their job?
First of all, it's going to give you the boost you need to quit your job. And once you've quit it and you are where you are, once you move, you're going to need that purpose to stay there, because contrary to what a lot of people think, it's not all roses outside of the U.S. You actually exchanging one problem for another, and you're not used to these kind of problems. So, but your purpose can keep you afloat. It can keep your mind ready for the changes.
And sometimes you're exchanging one problem for 5 problems. And that's where it can cause friction.
Yeah.
And if you don't have purpose, then it will cause you to go back home. It will cause you to quietly pack up your things and go back home.
People doing it all the time.
Yes. So purpose gives you the strength to keep going when things get challenging. Because just because you move to another country, just because you quit your job, move to another country, there are still challenges that come with that. So it's not just about leaving your job, but it's about knowing what you're moving towards. So let's talk about income, Jermaine. So once someone knows their numbers, they're aligned with their spouse, they have purpose, how important is income?
Well, income, you need to figure that out along with your numbers, because it's going to fit in your numbers. That's one thing you can start working on immediately as soon as you get the bug also. Just finding a way to make money, because unless you're going to do it tomorrow, I mean, you have time to actually build up a clientele or whatever you want to do, whether it's YouTube or some kind of remote
consulting, freelance work,
trade. There's a lot of stuff you can kind of do out here, but you have to know what you're doing, right? You just can't just quit your job that you know everything about and jump into something else that you know nothing about. So just take your time and realize or find out what you really want to do while you're abroad.
Yeah, absolutely. And start doing that thing in the U.S. And if you can start doing it alongside your 9 to 5, that's even better. Right. Start doing it before you quit, so you can start, like Jermaine said, building up a clientele, building up that skill. Even if it's transitioning your current skill into doing freelance work, that's a start. It could be investing. It could be YouTube, but guys, I don't recommend YouTube as a source of income outside the U.S. I just don't. No. I think it could be something as a revenue stream, but not your main revenue stream.
Unless you are already doing YouTube.
If you already have a established page and you're making a full-time income from your YouTube channel, but not quitting your job.
No. You would do the research on that. You will see why we tell you.
Absolutely. So the other thing that we think is important before quitting a job is seeking counsel. So Jermaine, who should people be listening to when they're making this decision?
You want to seek wise counsel, right? What you think is wise counsel. Actually, you need to either seek somebody who has done it and can kind of tell you the pitfalls or the pluses and the minuses, or even better, someone who is doing it. Yeah. If you don't have anyone in your circle who is doing it, then that's where you need to do consultations, whether it was us or anyone else, because that's where I think we kind of messed up. Well, we have friends in Kenya, but you got to remember what our Kenyan friends are used to and what we're used to are a little different. So we were missing that little piece.
Yeah, that little piece.
And that little piece meant a lot.
It does.
It threw my calculations off.
Yes.
So,
and I even think when you're talking about consultations, I think you want to also source people who are in a similar situation
Right.
that you are. Because I've noticed that when I'm seeing younger expats, younger people who are traveling the world, who have quit their job to travel the world,
Right.
I realize they're able to sometimes tolerate things that us older couples, more
Yeah, we
established
can't do it.
couples that have raised children, maybe have grandchildren, are not able to tolerate. I was just listening to a girl on YouTube yesterday, and she says there's noise in her neighborhood. She moved with her 4 kids. Like, for me, noise is a big thing.
you hate it.
Yeah, so those are some of the things you got to know. And sometimes young people don't care about noise.
Yeah, they don't. They're just glad and they're excited
Yeah.
to be going. We need a good night's rest.
Yeah, they don't care about partying at night and all the music noise. They can sleep right through it. Like my kids, they can sleep through noise.
And then let me tell you something. Most consultations are not going to be free because don't let your
Discourage you or deter
cheapness, don't let your own cheapness discourage you, because people are not going to really talk to you for free. And I can tell you why we don't. Because people reach out all the time. First of all, it's too many people. And second of all, people waste your time.
If you let them.
Yes, we have had some time wasted a little bit, but we limit the amount of time you can waste.
Yeah.
Now it's about wasting no time.
No time.
Yeah, so don't let that discourage you. You don't want to just waste your money, right? And just do a consultation with somebody that's just not going to tell you anything. So just
do your due diligence there too.
Yeah.
Exactly. So just listening to the wrong voices can keep you stuck. I know I'm in a lot of expat groups, and I hear that people are talking to their family members, their co-workers, people who aren't trying to do the things that they're doing. And as they're getting closer to quitting and actually maybe leaving the country, the people who are around them are fearful for them. They're like, oh, why are you going over there? Especially if they're hearing about these things that are happening on the news. And you'll hear them come in the group and say, guys, I'm feeling nervous now. I feel like maybe I'm making the wrong decision. You have to be very mindful about who you're talking to. Almost
Best case scenario, your family and friends are going to be indifferent, and that's best case scenario. Mostly they're going to be like, why are you doing that? They're going to bring up all the pitfalls and not really any of the benefits or advantages.
Yeah.
But you have to know that, because they're not thinking about leaving, right?
No.
So what you're doing is maybe a little crazy to them. So just know that, because faith comes by hearing. So whatever you hear is going to give you either the faith or the doubt to do something.
Absolutely.
So you want to fill your ear with something that's going to give you faith and confirmation.
Absolutely. So let's say someone is close, like really, really close. What should they be doing right now? They're really close to quitting their job. What should they be doing right now?
Of course, saving money. You got to be doing that. But you know what we did? We actually went over time zones in the U.S. to get us kind of used to being in different time zones, because I was in Eastern time zone pretty much all of my life. So if you're like me, you're going to know, you need to know how it is to be like on the West Coast. And that's 3 hours. But if you're trying to go across the Atlantic, it's going to be 7, 8, 9. But that 3 hour difference, you have to get used to it. Like if you used to waking up 9 o'clock in the morning, it'll be 6 o'clock in the morning. Right? Because you got to get, if you want to go to Southeast Asia, you might be used to 9 o'clock in the morning and it's 9 o'clock at night. So yeah, just travel over the country if you can, and just try to stay at least a few weeks.
Yeah. Because doing that will help you to also see not just like you're waking up and your like internal clock. It's going to also help you to see how working remotely is going to fit for you, because for us, we work on East Coast time. So everything we do, any phone calls we got to make, anything we have to research, when business is open, our business is connected to the U.S. And so depending on where we are, we may have to wake up in the middle of the night, wake up 1 a.m., 2 a.m. to make a phone call to the U.S. So those are some of the things that you might not take into consideration, especially if you do some kind of consulting with people in the U.S. You may have to work overnight. So you need to kind of know that, unless you live in a place where the time zone is kind of the same as...
Yeah, like South America, something like that, Mexico. Yeah, but if you're anywhere like us across that Atlantic, it's different.
Or if you work remotely from the U.S. and you have third shift job, then that will work perfect for you in Southeast Asia, because you'll be working during the day in Southeast Asia, which would be nighttime in the U.S.
I hear the opposite.
Yeah, we ran into the one guy. He was working third shift. He was from Texas. Remember, he was working when we were in Vietnam. He was working at breakfast.
Well, yeah, he was normally working third shift in the U.S.?
Yes, he said he did IT third shift.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right, yeah. So
Yeah.
it actually worked out for him.
So yeah, sometimes if you have that kind of setup, it'll work good for you. So let me ask you one last question, Jermaine. If someone is already close, but they feel like something is stopping them, right? Because most people, I think right now, if they're thinking about quitting, it's not really about money or timing. What is it? If it's not money, what is that one thing that could be holding them stuck right now?
Well, if you've done all these things already, they're all done, it's just hesitation. And it's just a mental block. It's nothing else. Once the steps are completed, they are completed. It's time to move. So now it's about motivation. Like, just take that step forward. And once you take that step forward, it just snowballs. I'm going to tell you that, like, once we made one step, we decided in December, in August, we were here.
Yeah.
So it moves fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We are trying to get to 20,000 followers. And any questions or comments you have, drop them down in the comment section. We'd love to hear your feedback on this. Let us know where you are in the process. Have you already quit your job? Have you already booked your tickets? Where are you at in the process? Let us know in the comment section below. Make sure you like this video. And again, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.